Well, good afternoon, people. This is going to be a video on how to price a make-ready job for a rental house. And if you don't know what a make-ready is as a handyman, make-ready is when you come to a home that's a rental, you get it ready to rent again. That's the basic definition. Now this one, let's go with this. It's about 950 square feet, something like that. First of all, I've been patching holes in the garage. Still got one there over there and one over right there to do. You can see he wants this whole garage painted, hose fixed, painted, textured. So that's an easy job, you say. It's just a garage, right? Well, it's about a day's worth of work here. 2 coats of paint, 2 coats of paint on the ceiling, 2 coats on the walls. He didn't say anything about texture, but I'm telling you, if you paint a smooth wall, every imperfection will show up. So in my bid, there's, and I told him, I said, I recommend some fine texture, orange peel, something just a little bit, something to hide the imperfections. Got a little room in here, so got to take that in consideration. Now, okay, so we got trim here to paint. That's going to take time. I see so many people, you beginning handyman, even some of you've been doing this a while, you don't take in and I've been guilty of it too, but you don't take in consideration stuff like this trim. Well, that's just door trim. It can't be that hard. It's not that hard, but there's roughly, what, 17 feet right here of trim to paint on one side. 34 feet if it's on, that's, I usually get $1 a foot for painting trim. So that's 34 bucks right there to paint that trim. How many bedrooms in the house do I have like this? 10, 340 bucks just for the trim. Okay, this obviously doesn't have crown molding. Again, this is another room, had to fix all this stuff. So you got to take that in consideration. And I guarantee you, most of you, at the end of the day, you're going to sit down and go, damn, that's a lot of money. You're right, but because it's a lot of work. So, you want to, usually on most clean outs, the first thing you'll have to do, make-readies, is clean out the house. And what I charge may not be what you need to charge. A lot of y'all need to decide what your expenses are. Too many times they say, well, gosh, it's just doing this. It shouldn't cost much. And that's where you start getting in trouble. If you don't know how long, I've almost stopped pricing jobs by the hour. Look here. Okay. I usually go by the day now, especially jobs like this. And you need to figure out what you need to make per day. So you come in the kitchen, refrigerator's not working, it had to be cleaned out. You're missing some elements. You got to write all this down. Bring you a notebook or a yellow pad and start writing all this down when you're looking at estimate. Don't just say, oh, that's kitchen small. It shouldn't take more than an hour, because this kitchen has already been cleaned on for 3 hours, and then she cleaned that out onto the floor and made a bigger mess, which she'll have to clean up at her expense. Then I came in here painting the ceiling without you drop cloth, because, well, latex on hard surface, smooth surfaces pop right off or wipe up. But anyway, you got to take these little things into account. He wanted all the trim to paint, okay? All that baseboard in there. Once these beams painted, so you're taking all this into account. And you've got to have a base price for this stuff, or you're going to screw yourself over. I kind of did on this job a little bit. I'll still make all right money. I ain't going to complain about it, but I could have made a lot more. Now, I may not have got the bid. Oh, well. I got another job, And that's the mindset you don't want to get into. I got to have this job. I got to have this job, so I'm going to underbid it. You screw yourself, then you'll be taking shortcuts trying to make up for time, and things are going to look like crap, or you'll get kicked off the job, or you'll get a bad name for yourself. So, price this stuff accordingly. Big, for, what is that, 5.5 or something inch. This is a built-up baseboard. It's like 4 pieces making that up. You know, you know, 2 coats of paint on it, so it's going to take a while. So you got to figure that into. Well, I come back at the end and clean everything, the floor and everything. So you got to take that into account. You look at this and go, oh, this room ain't very big. It's I think that's 12. It's about 15 by 10, I think, or 12 someplace. Okay, but it's still a $500 room to paint. More than that, really, end up being more than that because I had to paint these beams. I painted the ceiling, and, you know, some people would get a lot more than that for this room, but this is a rental. And since we're on that subject, let's go into something else. Expectations. Talk to your landlord, your investor, and what is their expectations? Do they want a perfect job? High end, and they say, that's an old crappy old house, don't care. I've got one investor, crappy old house, foundation problems, but he wants the very best work that I can do. He's a doctor, and come to find out, him and his wife, that was the first house they bought. They lived in it for 30 years, and then they moved to a bigger house. And even though it's a rental and it gets treated and it's not in so good neighborhood anymore, he still wants top of the line painting, cut in really tight and all that. Fine. You charge extra for a high-end job. This one, he said, I don't want no sloppy job, but I don't you know, I don't need the, you know, very best of everything in here. I said, well, fine. So we went, I asked him, as I was showing him, you know, do you really want tight paint lines where I have to tape off all the trim? No. He goes, if you can freehand it and make it look good, okay, good. So I take that in consideration during the bid. Now, he wanted all the doors painted. Whoa, it's a lot of work. And that's where I forgot about that. So I'm going to have to eat some labor on that, getting these doors, but that's fine. I'll just pull them off, throw them on a sawhorse, and roll them twice and be done with it. But there's things that will eat your time up. Window locks are broken, I put those on. You need to take all this into consideration, especially if you're painting the whole house, because that's a lot of money. People say, it's only 950 or 975 square feet. It can't take that long. You know what? If you got more than one person, you're right, it doesn't, but it still takes time. And so luckily we have no crown molding, but we're gonna, you know, there again, you're doing a final cleanup. How long is it going to take you? A final cleanup would take you a half day to a day. Got it, you know, the biggest mistake I see, people thinking, oh, it's not going to take that long. And I do it myself. So you've got to take this stuff into consideration. Here, we ended up having a roof leak. Okay. Whew. If you could smell it, you'd know. Oh, you can't see it. Let me see that. So we got a major roof leak in here. That's going to add to the final price. Now, I had done give him a bid for this job, and he's a good investor. He understands this stuff. That's going to add. That's going to add probably a couple $100 by the time I get the roof patched and the drywall fixed and all painted and all that. Okay, here again, whole bunch of trim there, whole bunch of trim in this hallway, whole bunch of trim every place. So it's just going to take a good while to get this all done. And a lot of, you know, if you haven't done this, like I said, you're apt to cut yourself short by saying, well, it don't take that long, or that's not much trim. Okay, I've been here just about 3 hours right now just on this trim here, this trim in here. I may not be the fastest trim painter, and that's the first coat. I've got to go over this coat again. I'm going to sit down because my knees and back are killing me. You know, I'm fixing to break out my I usually don't use a sponge roller, but I am on this. I've got one coat on it, and then we're going to go town. But when y'all are pricing these make-readies, you got to take everything into consideration. And then if the investor comes back and hits you up with more stuff, you got to add that stuff. Don't say, oh, okay, I'll just throw that in. Because pretty soon you're throwing in a couple $100. Hey!
Hey.
So, okay, pro tip number 1043. Lock the doors when you're working by yourself. So the nosy neighbor who lives across the street won't come in and interrupt your YouTube video. He's the investor's watchdog, and he's old man and probably lives by himself, I guess, and just needs a friend. He's been over all morning. Left, got the Harbor Freight catalog in the mail, and here he come back. So anyway, I had to leave. I'm running to get some lunch. So anyway, one of my points was your expectations that you set with your customer, whether it's investor or not. Now this investor knows he's not going to get, I mean, he's going to get a good job, but am I going to take the time to pull the trim off and clean it up, paint it, put it on, paint it in place, and it will not be perfect, but it's going to be pretty good. So and it's going to be good enough for what he needs it for, and it's going to look good, as good as it can when you paint it on the wall. So also, you know, if this is another thing, if they're buying, you really want them to buy, well, it can be a really good thing for them to buy the materials, especially paint. That way they get the exact color they want, and they get exactly what. Now, that means you don't get to mark it up, but that can be okay too. And I'm trying to pull that here. So I prefer them to buy. That way, if they don't like the quality of the paint or something, you know, this guy went down, bought Valspar 2000 or 200, whatever it is. Not a bad paint, but is it a Sherwin-Williams super paint or Duration? No, it's not. Or Benmore or something like that. But it's okay. Now, if you go buy paint and they don't like it, you're eating it. So, or nothing good's going to come from it. So that's neither here nor there. But set your expectations with your buyer. Don't tell them that you're going to do all these great things and how good it's going to look, and it's going to look like the highest end home ever, and then do a crappy job. And then wonder why they get mad at you and give you a bad review and all this. I'd rather tell them they're going to get a crappy job and give them a good one and exceed their expectations. So anyway, this video is probably getting a little long. I just want to bring out, I see so many people, well, how much do you charge for this? They'll be posting in the forums. And really, don't know. What are your expenses? You're the one that has to set your prices. Well, Billy Bob over there, he gets $400 a day. That sounds pretty good to me. But you don't know what kind of expenses Billy Bob has. You don't know if he's got helpers that he'll get done with a job that may take you 3 days. You don't know if he'll get done with it a day, or vice versa. And too many of you out there asking how much this charge. If you need, you know, how much you charge to replace ceiling fan? Well, some guy in California is going to charge probably way more than I do here in Oklahoma. And maybe way more or way less than a guy, say, on the East Coast. Hell, it can be $100 difference within the same town. And I know pricing is one of the biggest things, but you got to figure out your expenses and what you need to make per day. Now, if it's something like a ceiling fan, garbage disposal, go to HomeWise or just type it in Google. How much cost to replace garbage disposal? And then I see people argue with HomeWise. Well, that's way too much to do that. Or that doesn't seem like near enough. Well, if you know that, if you know it's way too much or not enough, what the hell are you even looking for? You know, these places give you fairly close. HomeWise is, that's HOMEWYSE.com, I believe. Now, they're pretty doggone close. They know their stuff. Okay? So, there you go. That's your pricing on a make ready. And make ready goes everything from the clean out, and I'll tell you right now, junk removal, clean out, I'm right at $100 a truckload. You look at stuff, you can figure, well, it's going to take me 3 truckloads. That's $300 right there. Because 35 of that is for me to dump it. So there you go again. Really got to pay attention, guys, and stop asking everybody on the internet what they charge to do this or do that. You've got to figure your own prices out. Ain't nobody going to do it for you, because they don't know your expenses. They don't know if you got child support payments. They don't know if you've got 2 mortgages and 4 car payments, and that your electric bill is $300 a month. They don't know any of that, and that's all your expenses. You've got to know your expenses. So anyway, hey, go after these clean out make readies. Advertise on Craigslist. Advertise on investor groups on Facebook, or just investor groups in general on the internet, because these guys are always looking for somebody, and it might as well be you. Now, granted, some of them want dirt cheap, some of them want a decent job. So anyway, guys, Donald, Blue Collar DIY, like and subscribe, or someplace down here, and don't forget to hit that little bell. You'll get a notification every time I post a video. So anyway, this just should give you an idea, guys, and girls. So anyway, Donald out.